Alright, Shalom, Shalom Israel, first and foremost. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem YAHAWASHI, Hashem Rakak double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the mighty Akim Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. Yeah, the topic that we're going to be talking about is, when you have people, let's say primarily Christians, okay, because it's common place for Christians to say that, oh, God loves the sinner but not the sin, when that's not what the scripture's saying. Sirach chapter 12 verse 6, for the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth him against the mighty day of their punishment. So, right then and there, okay? So we have a biblical proof that, Yahawadah, Hashem YAHAWASHI hates specifically the sinners. As I said before, I believe I said before, maybe in this video, I hope it was in this video, because that would just sound weird, but that the Lord hates the sinner. He doesn't only hate the sin, okay? So it's both. He might hate people stealing, or he might hate people, eating pork, or whatever, all right? But he also hates the people that are actively choosing to partake in whatever wickedness that they're doing. Now, again, this topic, I guess, I don't even know if I can title it this way. I don't even know if this is wise to do, but whatever. I might do it. We'll see. But I intend on entitling it "I hate 2/3," or maybe it'll change depending on where the Spirit takes me. So no promises. But basically, I just want to say, yeah, I definitely hate 2/3, and the reason why is because you really have to understand that, just in general, like, there are quote unquote good black people, and there are quote unquote bad black people. Just as there are good quote unquote Hispanics, good Native Americans, bad Hispanics, bad Native Americans, all that stuff. And when I was in the world, that used to be a very common thing where, we would always try to disassociate ourselves and make ourselves seem like, oh, we're one of the good ones and stuff like that, which obviously that was a self-deprecating practice that we as a whole that we as a whole shouldn't have partaken. All right, but of course, through Jake's through Jake's desire to be accepted, this is what happens. This is what happens with us, where we end up desiring to be viewed favorably among our oppressor. So yeah, that's an issue. That's a very big issue that we have to kind of come out of. And I'm sure maybe some people might take issue with that. Some people might have a harder time than others trying to abandon that mindset. But even still, even after you get out that mindset, in a way, you should still kind of have that mindset, because you know, people have things messed up and have things twisted, thinking that you know, oh, all black people, all kinfolk, oh, so, as Israelites think all skinfolk are kinfolk and whatnot, when that couldn't be farther from the truth. And honestly, it's sometimes our people are our biggest enemies. And I was watching a brother's video not too long ago. I was watching a brother's video not too long ago. I think it was yesterday. He was basically going in and basically explaining how it's usually Jake that has a problem with the truth. It's usually Jake that is, you know, saying that, oh, these Hebrew Israelites, they gotta go, they gotta do this, they gotta do that, they can't be on the street corners, on the highways and byways and stuff like that. All right. So yeah, it's like, and you know, honestly, I didn't. That was basically his kind of personal. That was his kind of personal assessment, because it was elder brother MANASSEH, because he was the one that's always, you know, doing videos, doing lessons in response to these Jakes that are, you know, going on TikTok and speaking out against the truth. And honestly, you know, I do agree with him. Not just because I watch a lot of his videos, but also in the fact that it's really not that common for Esau to, you know, take his time to kind of it's not that common for Esau to take his time and, you know, go back and forth like that. You will have some few outliers and stuff like that are going to, you know, take the time to dedicate, like Vocab Malone and that other dude that was trying to copy Vocab Malone. It's not really Esau's place. Jake is the one that's usually more vocal to defend his oppressor. And on top of that, I was also watching another video, and you know, again, this is the stuff that really pisses me off, and as well as just my regular interactions with Jake, all right, where I genuinely do not like Jake. I do not like 2/3. And you know, the funny thing is that I never liked Jake in the beginning. Even when I was in the truth, I never liked, you know, siding with so-called black people just because they're so-called black people. All right, and it wasn't even. And when I first came into the truth, it wasn't even hard for me to accept that, because I already knew that people from all races, for people that look like everything, they're not uniform, except for Esau. In a sense, I'll say in a sense, not completely. Obviously, there's some more details that go into that, but I'm not going to bother explaining that. It's not a matter of, you know, the simplicity of someone's race or what someone looks like, okay? But it's actually like the Lord put the Spirit on all these people, on as well as me, to be able to look past someone's physical appearance to actually build a bond with said people, to genuinely be, I guess, to genuinely be connected in a friendly sense. All right. So it's like, That this is the crazy thing, and this is why I don't care about someone's appearance. I don't care that someone looks like a so-called black person. I don't care that a so-called black person probably has experienced being called the N-word just like me before, so we can relate on that. But no, that's not what we're supposed to be relating for, because even then you have Jakes that have been called the N-word that will still kiss Esau's ass. It's like kiss Esau's ass. All right, and it's like that's not what I'm about, and that's not what I stand for. All right, and that's not what I want for my people. And my people is not so-called black people. My people are the Israelites. And I'll say, speaking as a man, I don't think we should be offended when people say, or if someone says, I hate black people. Obviously, if they say that, if they're an Edomite and they say that, and they obviously they mean they hate everyone. They hate us all, even the quote unquote good ones. Okay, but just in general, I'm just saying that I hate so-called black people in the sense that the spiritual sense of actual black, where their behavior is black, their mind is black. All right, and black basically is like the opposite of white, or it means something bad. It's like, and where white is pure, which is why they took those terms to describe us, even though we're brown. All right, but intentionally called black. But anyway, and Esau's red. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the thing where we are. If someone says they hate us, it's like you can see so much of the reasons why, honestly. And I'm not saying this to justify anyone's like racial implications and stuff like that, okay, or to treat us bad. But it's like sometimes it's like you really have to actually examine some of the things that Jake does. All right, like actually examine it. All right, some of our people, they are just unbelievable. They just I'm telling you, like, let me get some precepts. I'll slog you for all the rambling, because this was just something that was on my spirit that I really just I'm fed up with. All right, and I don't want to have to keep on paying for their wickedness. Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Saul's children. Jeremiah chapter 4. Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me, they are Saul's children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. So, wise to do evil is the main term. And you know what's funny is I did a lesson, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, I don't remember, where there was a new robbery trend of a bunch of Jakes apparently watching people go to the bank to withdraw large sums of money and then following them to rob them. So, of course, Jake's gonna use his wisdom, use his intellect, use his skills, use his gifts for evil, use his gifts for wickedness. All right, and it's like you try your best to defend your people For what? You try your best to defend your people for what? You try your best to say, oh, black people aren't good. They're just this and the third. Well, I will admit, though, the only reason why they need to do that is because they don't have money. Okay? There's definitely a demand or a need to rob. All right? As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Because, this society makes it so that you can't. This society makes it so that you can't, live. Where's Proverbs? Basically, the scriptures say that if someone is stealing for food, that's a bit more. I would really like to know exactly what it says, because I don't want to butcher the verse or say something wrong. But basically, if someone is stealing because they don't have bread, because they don't have food, because they don't have if someone is if someone is stealing for food, basically, that was when it's like, okay, that's kind of understandable, because oftentimes for us, specifically us Israelites, we don't have money. We are in poverty. Okay, and on top of that, Esau is literally building his system upon making sure that we suffer financially, and that we just have to resort to violence. It's like a resort to crime. So yeah, basically, that's the thing. That's the thing where, as I was saying, I hate when people do that. There are a million fucking parking spaces and someone has to park right next to you. Anyway, as I was saying, to continue on, as I was saying, okay, so this society is literally made for us to be in financial ruin and be reliant on Esau. Okay, and Esau is basically sets the rules, sets everything to the point where either we are going to be in prison, you're going to be in prison, working for, I think, less than minimum wage, if not free labor. I think it's free labor, or I think pennies or something like that. So it's like why? So things are just and basically, the thing is that I really want to point out that you don't have sympathy for Jake. Don't have sympathy for evil and wicked people just because they have the same skin color as you. Okay, just because they look like you does not mean they are your allies. On top of that, let me get this as well. Amos, I believe it is. Amos chapter 5 verse 15. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord Yahawah of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. And this is another thing where we again, as I said before, as the Lord said, He hates sinner, He hates the sinners. The Lord hates the sinner. All right, we're supposed to also hate the evil. We're supposed to hate the evil that's going on. We're supposed to hate the evil people that are perpetuating wickedness. All right. So of course, naturally, we try our best to stay involved, in correcting ourselves. All right, where we try to, stay alert in wanting to please Yahweh, but at the same time, it's like when you see someone, when you see a two-third being a devil, being a demon, being wicked, right? It's like you can't in all honesty just accept that as normal behavior. Okay, you can't just and that's the thing which is in Christian doctrine as well. People are too comfortable saying that they love everyone. Oh, I love you. I know you hate me because you're a Hebrew Israelite, this and the third, but I love everyone. I love you. God tells us to love everyone. No, I literally just showed you two verses, Sirach chapter 12 verse 9 and Amos 5 and 15, where it says hate the evil in Amos, and Sirach 12 and 16 says the Most High hated sinners. Alright, so we're not supposed to hate. And as a matter of fact, let me also get another one, another precept. Psalms chapter 1, I think it's 114 or 149. Psalm chapter 14 verse 1. The fool hath said in his no, wrong one. Psalms, I think, is 114. I was wrong, 139. Psalms 139 verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. So of course we're supposed to hate the people that hate the Lord. King David said he hates the people that hate the Lord. And this is the thing you have to understand. If someone says, oh, they hate your kid, all right, you're really, are you gonna accept that? If someone says they hate your parents and you love your parents, you love your kid, whatever example you want to use, all right, are you going to tolerate that? No, because you have people that have such negative or like an evil intent for the people that they hate. Okay, which while I hate certain people, okay, I'm going to admit that I would never, I don't put my hands on people. I try to keep to myself. If someone puts their hands on me, then I will attempt to defend myself. But outside of that, I personally do not, and I do not condone anyone going around and attacking people. Okay, this is not as a matter of fact, let me get a precept to that. Proverbs, I believe it is, chapter 20, verse 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Okay, the Lord did not tell you to go and exact revenge, okay, or hurt people for hurting you or doing all that stuff. The Lord said, wait. The Lord wants you to wait for him to exact the vengeance. Okay, let's get that as well. Romans 12 verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, say the Lord. So over here, in another verse, the Lord is saying, that vengeance is his. The Lord is the one that's supposed to be responsible to. As a matter of fact, let me get that as well. Let me get that additional one. I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 12. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within, but them that are without, Yahawah judgeth. Therefore put away from among yourselves that wicked person. So it's not for you to judge the wicked. It's not for you to, make them your business, okay? It's not, you separate yourself from the wicked. Okay, and again, it is very well. It's like not again, but it is very hard to do that sometimes, because sometimes you're just forced to interact with certain people, and for some reason, no, obviously that's not for some reason, but basically, the Lord, he tries us sometimes. The Lord puts us through tests of having to deal with, be it racist Edomites, or maybe even some hard-headed, stiff-necked, annoying 2/3 Jakes that are causing trouble. All right, there's wickedness in our people as well, and you shouldn't expect Slaki. That's a thing. Okay, not just from Christians. Okay, yes, Christians are one big issue of claiming to love everyone, but yet not everyone is a good person. But with so-called Israelites as well, you have these Israelites that are saying dumb shit of, oh, just because someone is dark skinned, we need to love them. That's your brother. You need to do no. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get that again. Let's get that. Okay, Slocky, because now I'm actually getting into it. Okay, the first half of this video, or not even half, but the first part of this video, that was me. That was more of a rant. All right, let me get this. Matthew chapter 12, verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. All right. So Yahawadah was basically establishing that your brother and sister are the people that are like-minded, that are serving Yahawadah, not the people that that look like you, not the people that you that are also Israelites as well, quote unquote, in the sense of, like, in terms of bloodline, because even Israelites by blood are not even Israelites are by blood, they're not your brother or sister, because you have different brothers who it's like different Israelites that know they're Israelites, but just still go against it. Okay, you have that Ty Jackson, who is completely against the Hebrew Israelites. You have who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of different one-off Israelite individualites or whatever that are speaking against the truth. So yeah, that's basically it. I guess I really just want to, get something off my chest. The first, oh my God. Anyway, Slovakia. But yeah, that was basically it. Just like in general how we have to deal with so much stuff, and we try our best to endure. Things are not going to be easy. Things are not going to get any easier until we get out. Okay, as brothers say, things are going to get harder before they get easier. Okay, but don't be thinking that all skin folk are kinfolk and stuff like that, or just because someone looks like you, that means they're on your side. Okay, even Esau is divided, but even then, Esau still knows to defend his people, regardless of if they're in the wrong or not. And I've seen that so many times. It's crazy. But yeah, no one cares about what's right anymore. No one cares. It's just like a growing wickedness. So sloppy with that. I pray that this was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, HAITIANS, double honors to the elders and apostles, great most son of God, and Shalom.